These are some real big articulating log loaders, real old ones. They weigh a lot. They use them on a lot of mills still because they're built really strong and they last forever. Right here is one of the batteries. I got two of them on either side. That's the main gear that makes it articulate. It's ran off a hydraulic motor which runs another gear into that main big gear. The gear here has sandpaper, gritty stuff on it. That's you stand on there to work on the stuff, check the oil levels and all that stuff. Check for leaks. There's a ladder there. These things have a lot of ladders on them, both of them. They're all over the machine, so you access panels and doors. This machine is pretty tall. I'm not quite sure how tall it is to get all the way up there, what the height is. The machines themselves are pretty much all electric ran, besides the hydraulic steering, but the rest of it's all electric. Besides, I'm not 100% sure on the motors to drive it forward and reverse, if they're electric or they're actually hydraulic. I almost think they're actually manual. I think there's a 3-speed auto in there. There's a fueler cap, put fuel in there, it's over 6 feet. Under here is about 4.5 feet for clearance. This machine back here has a mixed match tire. It's a lugged tire versus all these smooth ones. Smooth ones that help not tear up the concrete and wear out really fast if you have lugged tires, so the smooth ones last a lot longer. So if you see that tire right back here on this footage you'll see that's a lugged tire on there. Machine has a lot of grease and stuff. It must be an older one. Needs probably some maintenance work. Or they're using it as parts. Right here is the tire size. Somebody's interested in that. This is the cab to operate it. In there's a seat that the guy can swivel around so he can face backwards, face forward, or face either side, but he can still drive at all angles because all the controls are on the seat. The best I can tell, because I see them turn all around in there and they just floor it either forward and reverse and they just spin around in the seat. So I'm assuming everything's on the seat itself on a platform. It's the front axle. See, it's offset. I'm not quite sure why it's offset. I'm thinking maybe a gear reduction in there. There's the jaws. There's a ball and socket where the bottom of the jaws collect into. If you look up here on this jaws, there's actually an electric motor that opens and closes them with gear reduction on it. And then it's ran by cables that lift it up and down like a forklift. And the main pull and pull rod with electric motor with teeth on it that push it forward and reverse to lean it. There's a ball and socket. I'm thinking of getting ready to lift this and put it back on the machine itself and start hooking everything up. If you look right here, the spool wires, that's all the electrical wires for the electric motors that open and close the jaws and all that. Up and down is ran by a big cable. And forward and reverse is ran by a big push rod, which we might be able to see here in a few seconds. There's the big spool. That's where all the cable's in. There's a push rod up on top up there, which has a big electric motor that runs it forward and reverse. I'm holding the camera about 5 feet. 5 foot something maybe. That kind of gives you an idea how big these tires are. There's the control panels all in there. I believe that's where all the electric stuff's in there. All the fuses and breakers and controls. That plate here, the deck, that slides out so you can stand on there to get in there to work on your control system. There's a spiral staircase. under here is whatever. So maybe that's an automatic greaser system. It's all plated under here. That's so you don't do any damage when you hit some branches and stuff like that. There's a spiral staircase once again. There's the gear up on top, the big rod that pushes forward and reverse to tilt it. Here's a hydraulic motor that feeds hydraulic pumps. Right there, the hydraulic pump, and there's electrical. So I believe this is all electrical. What only thing that's hydraulic is the turn it left and right. That's the motor back in there, the hydraulic motor. The axle here can pivot, so you can articulate. You gotta turn somehow, you know, pivoting wise. There's the other battery and the back of the machine.